We are so blessed in Maryland because we have in Barbara Mikulski somebody who is not only there when it comes to policy, but she represents the interests of working people better than anyone in this country.
We have the most effective United States Senator. She's on the ballot. She's your very own from Baltimore County, but she fights for all of Maryland. She fights for families. She fights for seniors. She fights for veterans. She fights for working Maryland.
She's a wonderful U.S. Senator and very competent and very successful. For that, I mean, she gets things done. And that's not easy in the U.S. Senate.
And she has been supportive to me both personally and politically all these years. I'm really thrilled to have her here this evening, and I'm thrilled that I can call her also my friend.
I feel that this election is really crucial. And it's not about this election. It is about the next generation. So we want to thank you for all the effort that you're putting into it. I am so proud of you and proud of the fact that Maryland was named #1 by Education Week the second year in a row. So they say, wow, look at Maryland, they're winning all of those awards. Wow, Maryland, you're winning all those prizes. Wow. Well, there's a reason for that, and it's not because of what goes on in boardrooms, it's because of what goes on in classrooms. Hi, I'm Senator Barbara Mikulski, and I'm here today to encourage people all over Maryland to get out and vote and to really participate in early voting. It is a great opportunity to participate in our democratic process and to do it on your time. It will go on from October 22nd to October 28th. It will be in convenient locations in your community. Please call the Democratic Party headquarters or your election board to find out what is the place to go nearest to you. But I'm really saying, let's turn out and vote. Let's make sure that when we do vote, we're making sure that we're moving Maryland forward. Go Democrat, and don't forget Senator Barb. It's a very wonderful and special night to me to welcome President Bill Clinton to Maryland, to Bethesda, and to an event for me. President Bill Clinton has been a very dear friend and I think a very special president. I had the great honor of working with him during his 2-term presidency. And I recall another fundraiser he did for me on a Thursday night. It was very cold and very rainy, but he gave up his time to come and yet kept taking phone calls back and forth because he and George Mitchell were on the phone. And the very next day, the Good Friday peace agreements were announced.
Well, I am so pleased to be here and with all of you wonderful grassroots advocates. It reminds me of just exactly how I got started in Baltimore politics. You look like my first coalition. This is just fantastic. You know, and I love right where we are, right where you were standing was one of the paths of the expressway that I stood up to fight that put me in politics.
It is a high honor and a great privilege that President Obama is joining us today. And I'm with him in so many ways, in so many days. And what I want you to know is the message that you hear today is the message that he speaks every single day. And it is a message that you want to hear, and we need to do something about it. Hope, opportunity, and change. You know, you can't have an Eastern Shore. You can't have a Maryland. You can't have an economy in the state of Maryland without the Chesapeake Bay. And we've got to fight for that Chesapeake Bay. We've got to make sure that that Chesapeake Bay is viable, survivable, and sustainable. It nurtures our heart. It nurtures our soul. It's an engine of our economy for the people who live and work on the Bay and benefit from the Chesapeake Bay. When the times get tough, the tough need to get going, and that's why I'm running again for the United States Senate. I'm ready to fight. This is not the time for States of America counting on us.
We feel that Frostburg is part of the University of Maryland system that will lead the way in green science, green knowledge, that this is going to be, is and already and will continue to be the clean, green campus within the University of Maryland system, coming up with new ideas for jobs. I am so happy to be back once again in Steelworkers Hall. I feel so close to the men and the women in this hall. When I grew up not too far from here in Highlandtown, my father had a little neighborhood grocery store. Practically every man and woman in our neighborhood, whether they were the Roses, the Rippers, or the guys who worked at Belco Steel or General Motors, practically everybody who gets into my father's store wore the union label. And we stuck by the men and women who did. A list of all of the Democratic officials. But Democrats make a difference, and Democrats deliver. I worked with Ron when Frederick City was teeter-tottering. We put our heads together and our shoulders to the wheel to really work on economic revitalization. It was working with Ron that we worked on Carroll's Creek, that we began to deal with significant transportation issues, looking how we could get Frederick City and Frederick County going up. And then when Jennifer Doherty came, one of the things we did was take a tour of this area. And she said, look up there. Look at that old public housing project. The John Hanson and Roger Taney project. It was a good idea in its day, but it's old, it's decrepit, and it's dated. We need new thinking. We have the fight of our life. Yeah. We have the fight for America's future.
That's right.
This is not about the next election. It is about the next generation. We need to organize. We need to mobilize. And we need to turn it on so that we can turn out the voters. The right wing is counting on us to be fractured.
No way. We are one. Get the help, Barbara.
They're counting on us to be angry with each other. But we're going to just say no. We're going to make sure that we turn out and we turn it up. And I'm asking you here tonight, can Martin O'Malley, Barb Mikulski, Ike Leggett, the entire Democratic team, can we count on you?
Yeah!